Let's talk about Chelsea Football Club today. In the last couple of hours, last night, we heard that Chelsea have now agreed terms and conditions, or everything is agreed between Arsenal and Chelsea for the transfer of Noni to Arsenal Football Club for a deal that is worth £52 million. I started digging deep into the numbers. I found out that the actual deal is £42 million plus £10 million in add-ons. Remember, this is a player Chelsea bought £26 million in the last 2.5 years. So Chelsea have doubled the amount they paid for Noni, and they are moving forward. You see, this is a very great sell for Chelsea Football Club. For Chelsea Football Club, I've been defending these owners, these directors, their business model, and a lot of Chelsea fans don't understand it yet. They always complain. They just buy a bunch of players everywhere. Can't you see that the club is now trying to, make gains and trying to be in a competitive space? Because Chelsea does not have the stadium. Chelsea does not have the capacity to compete with the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City. Look at Manchester City are already expanding their stadium, and Chelsea does not have that capacity, to be able to do that because of the issues in London. And the only way Chelsea can have a competitive advantage is by doing these kind of deals. Get players when they are younger, bunch them up in the academy, get the ones that even that you will not use. Hope that you can be able to sell them and make gains. Let's go down into the deal of selling Noni Madueke. To be honest, if you notice, before Enzo Maresca came to Chelsea, Chelsea were close to selling Noni Madueke. In fact, a lot of Chelsea fans, including you that is watching me, you are not happy for Noni. Noni, constantly make mistake. Noni is very, very loose with the ball. Noni is doing man them. He is the head of man them. All these guys with sagged trousers and everything. Chelsea were close to selling him for cheap. Enzo Maresca revitalized his career. Enzo Maresca started using him, started working with him one-on-one, coached him. But then, Noni started playing very well. Like, if you watch the records of Noni, I think in 96 games, Noni has scored about 20 goals, for Chelsea Football Club, which is not a bad return. And most of those goals are scored under Enzo Maresca. I think he scored 13 goals last season or something. I don't know. I think he scored, more than 10 goals last season. So, if you put all these things into perspective, you will see that Chelsea actually selling Noni now is a huge win than if they have sold him before. It is inevitable that Noni was meant to be sold at Chelsea because there's some things Enzo Maresca complained. Noni off the ball work is not great, and sometimes Noni is not taking the manager's information into account so much as Enzo Maresca wanted. If you remember, in some games this season, Noni have completely been left out of the squad because Enzo Maresca complained that he doesn't work so hard in training, he doesn't work so hard off the ball, and Enzo Maresca was on him. Then he started improving. But there is another aspect of Noni. He scores a goal and he feels, okay, my job is done. I'm the superstar. Nobody should question me. He doesn't run back. He doesn't do anything. So Chelsea selling Noni is a good one. Is a good one for Chelsea. For Arsenal, he might go there and have a change of heart because at Arsenal team is a workaholic team that everybody is working so hard. But at Chelsea, it looks as if Enzo Maresca needed to break some walls down so that he can be able to have his way. And then that brings me to Nicholas Jackson. It is interesting to note that Chelsea have decided to place Nicholas Jackson on the transfer market immediately. This is to show you that Enzo Maresca is not messing around. There's something I notice about football. Don't take the worst of the manager during the season as a serious one. You know the manager, how they react when the season ends. Is it not the same Enzo Maresca? I trust Noni. I trust Nico. They are working so hard. You don't expect him to come and criticize them. He wants to keep the unity of the squad till the end of the season. Now you will know the mind of the manager. You see the way he's taking them out one after the other. Because I was in the Conference League final. That caricature goal that Nicholas Jackson fumbled was shocking. Like, are you a striker? And then João Pedro coming in and scoring those 2 goals must have sent shivers to the spine of Nicholas Jackson. He will be like, I can't survive this. There's no chance for me. It will be going to be very difficult. And then the lap is also there. And if you look at the personality of Jackson is not a player that believes he can be the second option. Jackson feels like he's too good to be the first option. And it's not even second option because immediately Chelsea signed the lap and Pedro Neto. You can see Jackson have already dropped to the third pecking order. You see Enzo Maresca remove the lap, replace him with Pedro Neto, replace him with João Pedro. Jackson already got the message. My time is here, is over. And Jackson and Noni are very good friends. Now, Chelsea are trying to place Jackson on the transfer market. Chelsea will not be able to sell Jackson for cheap. Clubs like AC Milan are already, in talks, pushing, asking Chelsea to sell Jackson for them £42 million. Chelsea are saying no, that they want more. Because if you look at If you look at the price Ekitike is being sold and the price of all these players, Chelsea are saying you need to give us more. You see the reason again when I say Chelsea are master class, club when it comes to signing and selling players. How much is Jackson was bought? Chelsea will make ×2 of what they bought, Jackson, because the striker market is very difficult. A lot of clubs need strikers, and there's few strikers that are available. So Chelsea will be looking forward to selling Jackson for around 60 million. Is that not a good win? So when the club is signing players as Semino, this relax. See Amoge now, the bought. Chelsea have sent Amoge to Amogu. Chelsea have sent Amogu to Strasbourg on loan. Chelsea have sent Amogo to Strasbourg on a full-time transfer. That is a very good one. Chelsea are also pushing to finalize the signing of Pendas to Strasbourg. Strasbourg, you will go there and replace Petrovic. Remember, Petrovic is another player that Chelsea are planning to sell. Petrovic is now attracting interest from Bournemouth. Bournemouth have submitted an official bid, 25 million. That is what Chelsea wants to get around Petrovic. I think Chelsea bought Petrovic around 30 million. You can see how the club is making gains. So if Pendas replace Petrovic at Strasbourg, Pendas can be able to learn the ropes, play very well, have opportunity to keep in Europe. Remember, Strasbourg are going to Conference League, and this is an important season. So he's going to be able to cook in Europe, learn and improve, while Chelsea keep on moving in a different direction. If you see what Chelsea are doing, you will know that this club is actually moving very well. And Chelsea are fined by UEFA. Chelsea are fined by UEFA. Well, how much the UEFA fined Chelsea? I think a total of about, I wrote it down. I think a total of, UEFA fined Chelsea a total of £26 million. And then, if you look at it, this money can rise to £91 million if Chelsea do not balance their account in the next 4 years. And if you look at the sales Chelsea are about to make, the money Chelsea have made from the Club World Cup, over 80 million made at the Club World Cup. Then Noni to Arsenal, 50 million. Petrovic to Bournemouth, probably 25 million. And there's this potential of Noni Madueke. You see that the outgoing is bigger than the incoming. How much Chelsea have signed players? De La, 30 million. João Pedro, 50 million, 80. If they sell Noni Madueke, sell Petrovic, he has covered that money. Then plus the money they made at the Club World Cup. The club is now streamlined. They are now making gains. They are focused on making gains. And I don't see it when Chelsea fans complain. Now, you see the reason when I say what is wrong in buying players, using them for a while and able to sell them and make gain to keep the club competitive. Chelsea have the smallest capacity of stadium among big clubs in Europe, even in the world. So the only way to compete effectively is by doing this kind of business. And the club is doing it and doing it perfectly. If that thing is sold, it means that Chelsea will likely go and get one more attacker. And I'm looking forward to players like Ekitike. I don't know whether Chelsea will be able to go back to Ekitike, but one player you must keep an eye on after Chelsea did not move for Kudus is Rodgers. Rodgers is another one you have to look at. I wouldn't be surprised seeing Chelsea sell Nicholas Jackson to Aston Villa and then Aston Villa give Chelsea Rodgers. Enzo Maresca is looking for people that work so hard and they are efficient. Look at the kind of signing. João Pedro, off the ball, very hard working, strong. The lap, very strong. The lap work is needed against PSG, which I will do a different preview of that game. I will talk down how I feel like Chelsea can be able to do a job against PSG and how PSG can be able to also hurt Chelsea. Then you see the lap working hard. So Rodgers is another monster of working hard. Enzo Maresca is building his team to look like this PSG team. Like I told you, he wants everybody to work hard. And you will see there will be a lot of changes. See, slowly the man is whittling down the players that he doesn't believe in. Viega is out. João Felix is out. Noni Madueke is out. Probably Nicolas Jackson is out. Maybe Sanchez might also be going. So if he removes all these players, you see that he's now building an identity, a team of his own. And that is good thing about when a manager wins. For a manager, winning gives you a bragging right, not just only for the fans. It gives you the impetus to go and ask club to give you the right players you need to for you to do the job you need to do. And this is the reality. And remember, Chelsea are already raising this amount of money. They've not sold Nkunku. Nkunku is another player that Chelsea are looking forward to selling. Nkunku at least 40 million or 45. And then you have João Pedro. You have João Felix, to be sold. You have all these players to be sold. You have Chilwell, you have Sterling. Even if it's 2 million, 3 million, you have players to be sold. You have Fofana. So the club will finally gather a lot of money and the club will now streamline buying players that will suit the manager's style. You know the thing, after Enzo Maresca played the way he played in the first season, now the club believes in him so much. So they're going all out to sign players. For Noni Madueke, He must know that at Arsenal, he must work very, very well. If he doesn't work hard, Mikel Arteta will keep him on the bench like he kept Sterling for almost the whole season. So it's not where you go and think you have your easy go. You have your way easily there. You have to work so hard. And then for Nicholas Jackson, it's quite obvious that you need to leave because Jackson was given 2 good years. Imagine if he had utilized that 2 years, cement himself at number one. All these other ones that will be coming will come to help him. But it looks as if this guy just came in and dethroned him immediately. And that is a very disappointing one because Chelsea had full 2 years with Jackson, no other striker. Jackson needed to make a name for himself. He was missing, he was fumbling, he was now started getting red card. Enzo Maresca was slowly moving away from him. And Chelsea will have a robust squad going into next season. But if you put into perspective the things Chelsea are building, the midfield already in place, the attack getting better. I think the club is moving in the right direction. Then finally, the one I don't understand is the issue of the defense. I don't know whether Chelsea would like to get one more defender or so because the stars and some defenders are going to leave. Even Wesley Fofana that was working for Olympique Marseille when he was seen wearing Olympique Marseille, he later now wore a Chelsea shirt. I belong to Chelsea. Chelsea, I want at this. Chelsea want players that can be able to play. Like Lavia is out injured again. Chelsea cannot afford season in, season out. Fofana and Lavia will be out of the team. With Reece James. So the earlier you reduce the number of casualties, players that are constantly injured, the better. But then, I believe the club is moving in the right direction. Chelsea selling Noni. Chelsea about to sell Nicholas Jackson. Let's see what other players Chelsea will be able to attract to the squad. Thank you very much for watching. I am Beyond the Match. Remember, if you're not subscribed to this channel, try to subscribe and then see you soon.